Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Yoga Intermissions. It is the last one of July, but there will certainly be more. My name is Karen, coming to you from Salt and Sand Studios. I am still nursing my sprained ankle, so I will not do everything that I guide you through today. Our focus today is on the definition of yoga. The translation meaning to yoke, to bring together, to unite. And you could think of that in a couple of ways. One is the unification of the mind, the body, the spirit, the breath, and the life force. It is also the unification of the energy of all living things. So we're going to go ahead and start standing, tapping into the senses of the body. Mountain pose, hands by your sides. If you're leaning back, you might draw the low ribs toward your hips. If you're hunched forward, maybe you work on drawing the navel in toward the spine. Just notice the body. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? What are you experiencing physically in this posture? Notice the breath. Notice any emotion, anything spiritual. And notice the mind. Are you observing? Are you thinking? Are you saying things to yourself, or maybe in your head to me? Maybe find a little bit of moving around on the feet, like you could feel all four corners and drive all the energy and all the weight of the body into one side, and then the front, and then the other side, and then the back. I'm checking out the opportunity for stillness. And even in stillness, feel the energy sort of gathering in from the feet, up the inner arches of the feet, up the inseams all the way to the hips, stacking the shoulders over the hips, tucking the chin a little bit, and lifting the head toward the sky. Breathe in as fully as you can from the soles of the feet all the way to the crown of the head. Let it all go. This time as you breathe in, shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Press them behind you, release everything. And again, shoulders up. Now come back to noticing what you feel connected to. Where in your body? How is the breath connected to the movement? How is your emotion or your spirit, your spiritualism connected to the movement and the breath? And how is the mind involved? I'm going to bring the feet a little bit wider. Maybe point the toes just outward a little bit, a little sort of qigong kind of energy movement. We're going to face the palms out, lift them up like we're lifting the energy from the earth all the way to the sky. And then we're going to let it flow down through us as the palms face down and the knees bend outward. We press this energy all through the body, down, 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 down. And then we lift up again, fresh new energy from the earth and surrounding us, creating this bubble. And as we exhale, a slow press down of this energy. And 3. Two more. Feeling all the feels of the physical body, of the breath moving through the body and gathering in the air, of the mind and of the spirit. Now we're going to take it the other way after we stand up. I'm going to bring the hands in front of us like a cup. gathering the grounding energy from the hips and the low body and lifting it upward to bring lightness. And then out and down, breathing out. Palms face up, we lift, lift, lift. Ooh, this beautiful energy from ourselves that grounds us and now makes us lighter as we lift it toward the sky. 3 more of these. 3. And 2. And 1. This time we bring the feet a little closer together. We lift the arms high and bring the hands in toward the heart. Namaste. It's a little space between the feet, and if you feel a little wobbly, you can spread them apart a little bit more. Make sure they're parallel to the outer edges of your mat. And here an intention, it forms. Could be just for this practice, could be for the next 5 minutes, could be for when you leave your mat. We'll celebrate that, surround ourselves with it as if we could use it as a foundation for the whole practice. We'll use the chant of Om to do so. If you prefer not to chant, perfectly fine. Just join me in the breath. We'll breathe in. Bring the feet apart a little bit more. We're going to take some more of that energy work. We're going to start in a modified chair pose. So the feet are a little wide, the arms are overhead. Then we're going to do this sort of swishing movement and breath movement. I'll demonstrate and then you can follow. Whoosh. So sort of like you're skiing and then back up. Whoosh. Whoosh. 2 more. Pause here. Interlace your fingers at your low back or hook them, and then find a full fold over your legs. Head will drop, hands will remain linked, yoked, united, but maybe they will loosen from your spine. Nod your head, shake your head, open and close your jaw, waggle your eyebrows. And release your hands. Bending your knees if need be. If your belly is not in contact with your thighs, definitely bend your knees. We'll take a little crawl of the hands over to the right. And over to the left. And to center. Going to shift onto the fingertips and then onto the heels and spread the toes. Maybe the hands crawl back a little bit more. Maybe you try a little balance here. One hand and the other, maybe both hands. Come to the heart. Toes spread, and then one at a time, starting with the pinky toe, they come back to the mat. Bring your hands to your shins, rise halfway up. Long, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Reach back with the sitting bones, draw the belly in, reach the shoulders toward the hips. Neck is long like the back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way to standing. And with an exhale, find your forward fold. Halfway lift again. These half sun salutations, forward fold, sunrise, unraveling. And then tickling the clouds with your fingers. Definitely cloudy here today, everyone. Exhale, sunset. And again, halfway lift. Into a forward fold. Inhale, float to standing. Beautiful stretch. Left hand drops. We tilt in that direction. Opening the heart, gathering the belly in, pressing energy into the outer edge of the right foot. Feel like a half bind. Add that to the mix. Rise back up, both arms high. Press the palms together there, and then bend the elbows so that the head comes into the forearms and the fingertips to the nape of the neck, or maybe lower. Gathering the low ribs toward the hips. Drop the right hand, lift the left, breathe in. Exhale, tilt to the right. Inhale, both arms high. Exhale, your forward fold, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, a step back, high plank. I'm going straight to a tabletop. You may go to low plank and a back bend, and then find downward dog. 3 beautiful breaths wherever you are. Slowly peel your heart forward, high plank. Drop your knees, meet me in downward dog. Some cat shapes and some cow shapes. Maybe hip circles. Pressing the tops of the feet to the earth, creating bigger space. Real estate usage by spreading the fingers a little bit. You might find hula hoop shapes. You're going to place the top of one foot on the bottom of the other. And then you're going to sit back, opening up the tops of the feet. Back to your tabletop. Tops of the feet meet the floor. A little tap, tap, tap. We're going to take a little puppy dog pose. We're not moving into a full Anahatasana, but you're going to walk the hands forward until the forearms come to the ground. We're going to take some cats and cows. It opens up the shoulders. And then draw the tailbone down, walk the hands back, tabletop. Other side, other foot on top of the sole of the opposite. Sit back once again. We'll see how that feels. Given a former fracture on my foot. And we breathe. Come back to tabletop. Float your right leg long behind you. Draw your knee to your nose. Inhale, extend. Knee crosses the body toward the left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Knee to the other elbow. Inhale, extend. Press really hard with your heel behind you. Square up your hips and float your left arm in front, finding balance. Right left hand draws down. Right leg hovers over the left calf, almost as if you could see your toes over your left shoulder. You're going to drop the shoelace side of the right foot to the earth. Slide that foot backward until the front of the right hip comes to the heel on the left foot. If you like more challenge, tuck the right toes under, float the knee off the mat, and reach back with your heel. That will really start to open up the glutes on the left side. We'll come back to a 3-legged tabletop. Draw the knee to the nose. Inhale, extend. Draw the right leg out to the right and place the foot on the ground. You're going to work to place the whole foot on the ground as you kneel up on your left knee. This might be enough for some of us. Pressing into the outer edge of that right foot, working that right kneecap toward the right thigh, or you might like a tilt. If you need to just kickstand a little bit that left foot out to the left, feel free. Left hand comes down, hips come forward, and right arm floats high. Gate latch rock star. Breath, body, mind, spirit. How are they united? How are they helping one another in this posture? Are they finding the best expression for your experience? And we come back, hands down under the shoulders. Sweep that right leg up behind, knee to nose. Extend, knee down to the mat. We're going to take a little interstitial child's pose. I'm going to stay in Balasana 1 with my knees together. Breath moving across that low back. We meet back at a tabletop, squaring yourself up. This time the left leg floats behind. Knee to nose. Lengthen out. Knee crosses the body. Extend. Knee above the left elbow. Lengthen out. Reach back with that left heel. Square up your hips and right arm floats in front. Finding beauty. Finding how this posture holds together for you. The belly, the mind, the breath, the top of the right foot. Right hand comes down. Left leg sweeps above the right. Drop the shoelace side of that foot onto the earth and then glide it back. Front of the left hip comes close or maybe on top of the right heel. If this is enough for your body, your experience, if this is the place where all the things meet together, mind, breath, body, spirit, stay here. If you could use a little bit more, a challenge or something to drive a bit more of that coming together, you can tuck your left toes under and lift your left knee off the floor. Drive back to a 3-legged dog, tabletop, knee to nose, lengthen out. Left leg out to the left, pause, and drop the foot. Press into that outer edge of the left foot, rise up to your right knee. Situate yourself, square up the hips, maybe remain here or take your tilt. This time, right hand down, left arm high. Pelvis forward. And tabletop hands. Left leg floats up. Swings behind. Knee drops to the ground. Your full child's pose. Balasana 1 or 2, your choice. Wide knees are narrow. I'm going to go wide. Sitting bones toward your heels, arms long. Forehead on your mat. And give you an opportunity to come back to your intention. Rocking the head left and right. As if you could work that intention right into your gray matter, right into your third eye, if that's something you're tied to. And notice here, even in a stretch, you have energy drawing from the hips to the fingertips, energy drawing from the hips to the sitting bones backward, energy from the heels to the knees forward, maybe a little bit of energy in the shins backward, energy of the belly upward toward the spine, and energy of the heart toward the earth. Breath, the focus of your mind, your awareness, helps harness
all the energy in all those directions, engaging the body, giving it nourishment, allowing the low back to relax.
We shall return to a tabletop, but the hands come forward a couple of inches and meet in a downward dog, except I'm not taking that. In your downward dog, your right leg floats high. Open up your downward dog, a three-legged dog. You might find a bend in the knee, means you can leverage gravity. Circle your ankles open and close the toes. Square your hips, lengthen the leg, and find a runner's lunge. The right foot comes forward. Your hands frame it. You're on your back toes. Ball your foot. Maybe finger chops, maybe blocks are the best thing for you here to bring the floor closer so you can peel the heart forward and the belly away from the thigh. I'm going to shift the hands forward a little bit to draw the left leg high and the left knee to the nose. And then we're going to come to standing. Rising up. Arms sweep high. Breathe out, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Arms wherever feels okay for you. They can be up overhead, hands at your heart. Maybe cactus works better for you. And any twist you like here, I'll move it into an east to west with the right arm forward and the left arm behind. We're dragging the hips backward a little bit, like you're about to sit behind your heels. Take your twist the other way. Inhale, rise to standing. Breathe out for your forward fold. Halfway lift. Then a forward fold. We're going to step back to a runner's lunge with the right foot forward. Left hand down, right arm high for your twist. Right hand down, back knee taps down. Anjaneyasana, your knee down lunge. Shoulders over the hips. Arms might draw overhead by your sides or in cactus again. We're going to take our east-west twist. This time left arm forward, right arm behind. And then if you like, you can take a hold, you can cup your right hip in your left hand and then your right hand and drop your chin. Breath helps the balance. Body helps the balance. Drawing the belly in helps the balance. That is your body, obviously. We're going to come forward and find a half split. Ardha Hanumanasana. Right leg forward, right toes tip upward. You might draw your hands backward a little bit so you're not tempted to super round your spine and bring your nose to your knee. Instead, reach the heart forward and then find your fold. Pressing energy into the top of the left foot. The sole of the right foot comes to the mat. Back toes tuck under. Come into a three-legged dog once again with the right leg lifted high and open up your downward dog. Again, I'm taking this from tabletop to protect my ankle. Lengthen the legs, square up the hips, draw your knee to your nose, shoulders will shift over the wrists. Inhale, lengthen the leg, exhale, downward facing dog. 3 beautiful breaths. And remember that this is your practice, not mine, so if at any time you need to move into a tabletop or a child's pose during your practice, feel free. Take what works for your body, your mind, your spirit. From our downward dog, this time the left leg floats high. We open up that downward dog, bending the knee, Finding ankle circles if you don't have an ankle brace on. Opening and closing the toes. Square up the hips, lengthen the leg. And runner's lunge on this side. Left knee directly over the left ankle. The right kneecap draws upward toward your quads and the right heel reaches back while the heart reaches forward, like an arrow here. It's really lovely. And into the twist, right hand down, left arm high. Press into the big toe mound of the left foot. Left hand down, back knee down, Anjaneyasana, your knee down lunge. Don't worry, I know I forgot something. We will do it. East-west pose, right arm forward, left arm behind. Cup your left hip in your right hand and then fold your left hand over your right, drop your chin. Press a lot into the heel of the front foot. And a lot, an extra lot into the shoelace side of the back foot. If you don't wear shoelaces, that's the top of your foot. Breath, mind, heart, physical body. Come forward for your half split. Back to your runner's lunge. Hands sneak forward a little bit. Right leg floats high. Knee draws to your nose and come to chair pose. Not just because pose rhymes with nose. It's as if the thighs are spinning together, even if they're not touching. If you like, you can always bring the big toes together with a tiny little space between the heels. That doesn't work for all bodies. Bring your hands to your heart and rise up. Beautiful. Inhale, arms sweep high. Open up that heart. Breathe out, sunset. Halfway lift. Forward fold. You may make your way back to your downward facing dog. I'm going to remain here. Full vinyasa or express to downward dog. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Lift the right leg high. As you bring it toward your nose, step the foot down. Find your crescent warrior, right foot in front. Open up to warrior two. Check in the warrior two that you're not leaning forward and your booty shooting backwards, but rather shoulders and hips are as stacked as possible. And the right knee, as much as possible, is coming away from the midline. Reverse the warrior. Side angle. Warrior two. Reverse. Windmill both hands inside your right foot and come to the ball of the back foot. You're in an extended runner's lunge. Bring your back heel to the mat like a warrior one stance, and then open up for an extended side angle. Inside of that right knee, pressing against the tricep of the right arm, and the arm presses back. Half bind, full bind if you have it, or if you're working on it. Both hands to the mat. Step back for your high plank, low plank, back bend, downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Meet me at the front of the mat. Hands at your heart in Namaste. Final Utkatasana chair pose. Maybe play around with where the arms are. Inhale, rise to standing. Breathe out for your forward fold. I'm going to step the right foot back for a crescent warrior on the right. Warrior two. Checking in with the body. How is the breath helping? Notice where the spirit is, where your emotion is. The mind. Reverse your warrior. Side angle. Warrior two. Reverse again. Hand windmill inside your front foot, coming to the ball of the back foot. Back foot comes into warrior one stance. We peel open the right arm, extended side angle. We're going to rise up from this into a warrior two, and then turn both sets of toes to the long edge of your mat. Toes in, heels out. Arms up in a V. Pearl Jam lyrics. Keeping the thumbs out, make a fist with the fingers, a power stance. 5-pointed star, continue to draw the belly in. And bring your heels in and your toes out. Keeping your mudra, a temple goddess pose. Draw those knees away and back. Toes nice and wide. Rise back up. You can release your mudra. This time we're going to bend the knees and cross the wrists in front of the body. Inhale, rise up. Bend the knees, cross the wrists in the other way. Rise back up. Twice more. One way. Then the other way. And one more time. Arms up overhead, hands to the hips, heels come out, toes in, halfway down, forward fold. Wide leg all the way down. Your choice here, if you'd like to move into Skandasana, some other movement, maybe an arm balance or a headstand, all your choice. Wherever you go, 5 beautiful breaths. Everyone, meet with your fingertips on the mat. Plant your right fingertips on the mat under your nose and lift the left arm high, taking a bind, shortening your stance, Really pressing the legs long as if you could push the earth away to lift the hips. Maybe a half bind. And left fingertips down, right arm high. We're going to bring the hands down and walk forward with the hands coming to a bit of a wide-legged runner's lunge again. Then we're going to bring the right hand outside the right foot, drop the left foot, drop the right knee, come back to tabletop. A few cats and cows here. We're going to move into some core work. Not that we weren't working our core. Part of the body that certainly I feel like I'm paying attention to a lot in my practice. So we're going to come to a seat somewhere around the middle of your mat. And go ahead and make a crashing loud sound with our blocks. We're going to go ahead and draw the soles of the feet to the earth. The hands come behind the head, fingers are interlaced, elbows are wide. Lift the heart toward the knees. We're going to go ahead and lift the right knee, reach with the left elbow. Place it down, left knee. Right knee. Left knee. Right knee. Left knee. One more round, right knee and left knee. Arms out in front, squeeze the shoulder blades back toward each other. Right knee lifts toward the wrist, comes down. Left knee, right knee, left knee. One more round in this way. Now we're going to bring both arms up, lift your heart. Right wrist and right knee come toward each other. Left wrist, left knee. 2 more rounds. Arms out in front again, shoulder blades lock, heart lifts, arms stay in this shape as wide as they are. We're going to shift over toward the left. Inhale, center. Shift toward the right, press the big toe onto the feet, downward, lift your heart, draw your belly in. Into center. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale to side. Doesn't matter which one. Exhale to center. Inhale to side, exhale to center, all the way down to the mat. Keeping your soles of the feet on the mat. You can take a standard yoga bridge or wheel, or if you like a more Pilates style bridge, which is a little kinder to your low back, by shifting the feet forward of the sitting bones a little bit, and pressing the low back to the earth. Really firm in the feet. Tilt your pelvis upward without lifting anything off the mat. Now knees forward, hips up. Maybe the shoulder blades snuggle toward each other. Tailbone point toward the sky, big toes really toward the earth. Mind, body, heart, breath. Imagine you're holding a block between your knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, all the way down to the mat. A breath in and a breath out. We'll take one more back down. It can be your choice if you prefer to go onto your belly and find a cobra or something else, upward dog. Your choice. I'm going to stay with a Pilates style bridge. We're going to take 5 breaths again. 1, 2,
3, careful with the low back, make it long. 4, 5, unzip all the way to the ground. Feet as wide as your mat, knees touch. Arms might draw outward with the palms up, and we take a sway, a windshield wiper movement of the knees, left and right. We'll take a supine pigeon from here, crossing the right ankle above the left knee. To check the time. You can either simply press that knee away from you, or gather your hands in front of your left shin or behind your left thigh, drawing that left knee toward your armpit a little bit, your chest. Both feet are activated. Shoulder blades working to kiss the earth. Mind, where is it? What is it focused on? What are you telling yourself? Breath. Are you giving a little extra exhale or inhale? Is the breath even, balanced? Heart, what is your emotion? What is your intention? Body, where are the parts of your body in space? Where can you send a little extra breath, a little extra love, a little extra awareness? Left foot down, right leg stretches toward the sky. If you're stretching enough in this moment, feel free to extend your left leg onto the ground. Not if it hurts or if it's tugging at your low back. The lengthened leg, you might alternate between pointing the toes and pointing the heel toward the sky. We'll take a half happy baby with that right leg. Left hand can come to your left hip crease. And the right foot to the mat. Supine pigeon on the other side. Sole the right foot to the mat, left leg toward the sky, extending your right leg, if that makes sense in this moment. And a half happy baby. And a full happy baby. Legs up the wall, hands underneath you, behind your sacrum, palms face down. And today we're going to take our Shavasana seated. So we're going to rock our way up to a seat. Cross the legs if you have the opportunity to. Take a little like flying twist, helicopter twist, I don't know what you want to call it, but just a shift of body and energy left and right. Taking our final twist. And then the hands can rest in the lap with a long spine. Close your eyes. Return to your intention. Take a body scan, letting the breath Move upward, your awareness move upward from the toes, the soles of the feet, the heels. Notice your breath, ankles, calves and shins, knees, thighs, and the hip creases and the pelvis, the torso, the rib cage, all the way around from the front right to the back, the chest, shoulder blades, the tops of the shoulders, upper arms, elbows, lower arms, the wrists, backs of the hands, palms of the hands, thumbs and fingers, and back, right back to the pelvic area, just between the top of the pelvis and the navel, to the heart center. Bringing together the unification, the uniting of mind, spirit, body, breath, of the common energy that we all share, not only with one another, but with all beings on the planet. The way we experience the world is like no other organism. So many senses, so many inputs, and the ability to be the observer, even as we are experiencing a single moment, a single flower petal, a single bumblebee, a single grain of salt. Let's draw out the hands by the sides, lift them out and up, breathe in. Exhale, palms pressed together, right at your heart. We'll close our practice as we began it with a chant of Om. The chant can always be silence. You're imagining the Om, Om, riding out on your breath. First, we breathe all the air out of the lungs. Inhale deeply. Thumb knuckles connect with one another, and we recognize one another with our bow, saying, I bow to you, you bow to me, in a single word, Namaste. With heartfelt thanks for each and every one of you for practicing yoga and for joining me to practice as well. I do have a teacher training coming up in Vermont in October. That's on the website, but also with our summer schedule, we have our stretch and sip, which starts in about 40 minutes in Wheatsfield, Vermont at the Featherbed Inn. Otherwise, here in the studio Friday nights and Sunday mornings, and on YouTube Saturday mornings. Hope to see you soon. I am Karen. If you have funds, please donate on the website. And if you do not, please continue to practice as well. Bye.